Liverpool versus everybody. How's everybody doing? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Um, yeah, so the window's open, and this year it's a little different. I believe it's opening a bit earlier than closing earlier as well. Before the season actually starts, which is I think is cool, especially for some of the lower league teams. They're not able to get these kind of last minute players once the season's already started. So I think that's a good thing. But a lot of names, some surprisingly, some maybe not so, swimming around. I guess we'll start with the guy who we actually did get, who's a young Chelsea player, almost in a similar way that we got Solanke, and that is Isaac Christie Davies. I'm not going to pretend that I've seen him play. I haven't. So, yeah, that'll be interesting to see. Sorry, my headphones were in. I don't know if you guys could hear me before now. Images of Emre Can and Marabella. That's good to see. He'll probably play some kind of role in the Champions League at some point on the bench, off the bench, something like that. But Donnarumma has been swirling around. Buffon. It's interesting. I think Lanzini is a guy who's been around for a while as far as rumors of him, Klopp being interested in him. I wouldn't be that surprised if we did get him. Probably be to get him on a somewhat of a cheap transfer fee. And by that I mean somewhere between 30 and 40, which I know isn't necessarily cheap, but in this day and age for the transfer market, that is pretty cheap. Dembele, and not only the Dembele for Barcelona, but the Dembele from Spurs. Apparently, Spurs have a list of players who they're trying to maybe offload. Alderweireld is one of them. Sissoko, Dembele, Danny Rose, and for me, I would prefer that we go for Dembele and or Danny Rose. I think they both can help us. Dembele is an amazing defensive midfielder. I know he's had some injury issues from time to time, but he's usually pretty solid, pretty consistent. If his injury issues are really maybe more major than I think they are, then maybe it's something you want to think twice about. But yeah, Casillas, Iker Casillas, Pepe Reina. As far as goalkeepers, it looks like it's really some serious interest in Donnarumma, young goalkeeper who I mentioned before when we talked about goalkeepers that I wouldn't mind having in the side. He's young. Klopp loves that. He'll have two young guys he can really work with. I still believe that Klopp wants to give our current keeper a bit more time. I think he really, really likes him, and I think he's going to go with him to start the season. But Donnarumma, Buffon, these guys are really interesting names. Pep Linders, who was sacked by the Dutch side he went to, rumors of him maybe coming back and joining the backroom staff. I think that could be cool, especially with Buvac going out. So some interesting news about Athletic fans singing Liverpool after their win against Marseille. Obviously they've got a rivalry there with Real Madrid. I think Atletico is more of the kind of people's team in Madrid, if you will. So that was good to see. And yeah, Sam Allardyce gets $9 million in his bank account. And he'll probably get another job. Yeah, that's got to be really nice, man. That's got to be really nice to just be like, get my 9 mil. Didn't really do much. But yeah. Also, Justin Kluivert. I'm probably not saying his name right, but Dutch football is supposed to be really, really good. And some small rumors about coming to Liverpool. So it should be interesting, man. It's exciting. Opening day of the transfer window. And I believe we'll get things done really early and not because necessarily I want that to happen, although I do, but I think because it's such a short period this time, and you got to have players in and ready to go come preseason. The World Cup obviously is this year, so it's gonna be interesting. I think we'll make some moves pretty soon here. Wouldn't be surprised if we made any before the Champions League final, but I'm thinking maybe just after that, maybe just after the finals when we'll start to see players signing and moves being made. So. Yeah, it's an exciting time. See what happens. Definitely, if there's any news that comes out of anybody that we get, I'll definitely be back on. But yeah, let me know some of the guys some of the players you guys like in the comment section. Some of the players you don't like. No, I think Chan will be there for the final. He's with the team now in Maribor, so Marabella, so I can't imagine. If they were going to sell him, then I don't think he'd be traveling with them. But it does look like he's definitely gone. You keep saying things about Juventus, getting the deal for free, as if we didn't know that by now. But no, I think he'll be with the team, and I think he'll play. And and a role, some role in the Champions League final. I think. I don't think he'll start, but I do think he'll play some kind of role. And I also could be wrong. I don't know what kind of shape he's in. So there has been times when Klopp has had certain players travel with the team, but they haven't even suited up. So, we'll see what happens. I think Klopp doesn't really let off how he really feels about Emery leaving. I think as far as our midfielders, he's one of the guys that Klopp would love to start every game if he could. If everyone's healthy and fit, I think Emery is a player that Klopp would rather have in the starting 11 every single game. I think he trusts him. I think he believes in his skill and what he has to offer Liverpool. I think he rates him pretty big, so pretty heavily, I should say. Yeah, I mean, and now it's looking like beyond Naby Keita, we'll need at least 2 more midfielders. Emery obviously leaving. Ox will be hurt or be out until Thanksgiving time ish, somewhere in November. I don't know if it's specifically Thanksgiving, but it'll be around that time. We don't really know what Lallana's going to look like coming back full strength, hopefully. So, yeah, we're going to need, I say, at least 2 other midfielders beyond Naby Keita for me. So 3 altogether, at least. So, it'd be interesting to see. Back to Everton. One more thing about Everton. Apparently, Decore was interviewed, and they mentioned something to him about going to Everton, and he literally said, I don't want to go take a back step in my career. If I'm gonna leave Watford, it's got to be a team that's better than Watford. So, savage truths. I mean, he is definitely right, and it's definitely savage. But it's good to see him say that. But yeah, listen, I think even being in the Champions League final, and then obviously solidifying that spot in the Champions League next season, it's got to be something that players who maybe are considering coming here are attracted to. And coming to Liverpool and playing with that manager and seeing the way we play. And again, as I said before, if there's any defenders that we're in for or who are looking to move teams, countries, then you might sit and think, hey, Liverpool look amazing going forward. They got a pretty decent midfield with Naby coming in. They'll be really good. Maybe I can be that piece to come in and help solidify that defense. A lot of people are saying Alderweireld. He's been out most of the season. That's worrying for me. So, perspective, what's up? We are such an attractive position. Yeah, don't think we have ever been in this position. It's definitely been a while. And again, Klopp is just amazing. The first successful manager, they would say successful Champions League final. That's pretty successful under FSG. So, listen, they're going to back Klopp whatever he needs. That's how I see it. I mean, whatever he needs, more so in this case than they would have for Brendan Rodgers. You know what I mean? I think whatever Klopp wants, he's going to get. And I think he's earned that. People are saying, is it maybe too early for us to be in the final? Is this going to jade our progress with the expectations and the things people say afterwards, win or lose? Yeah, man. Yeah, Klopp is definitely going to go down as a real, like a hero, I think, in my mind. Similar to Rafa Benitez. Also, obviously, Shankly is kind of a godlike figure for most people, Liverpool fans, I would imagine. Even Gerard Houllier, I thought he was really, really good as well. So, he'll go down as, and honestly, I'm not just saying this because I'm a fan, although I would probably say it for that reason as well. But this is not the end of Liverpool in Europe and doing well in Europe. I mean, you look at this team and what we were able to accomplish. I mean, I can't even imagine with Naby Keita alone. Obviously with some other players as well, but with Naby Keita alone, it can be pretty scary what we can accomplish. So, there's still talk about getting a Coutinho replacement and how Fekir might be that guy, but I mean, that already with Fekir and Naby, and I don't know how they will play. I'm very curious to see us in a 4-2-3-1, if possible, with, let's just say maybe it's Naby and Dembele, for example. And then you have Fekir kind of in that number 10 role with Salah and Mane and then Firmino up top. I think that's a wicked formation. I think that's a way that we really, really could play and hurt people. That's a good question. I'm not sure. Again, I don't know. This is all speculation. Lanzini has been mentioned. I think he can play a 10. It's hard to really say. I think Fekir needs to be the plan A and he needs to be signed. I think there shouldn't even be a plan B. You know, I mean, again, it's Liverpool Football Club, and what we're doing. It's not like in the past where players would say, "Oh, they're not playing in the Champions League," or "They're not doing this." Top four back-to-back seasons. We're going to be competing. So, I mean, I think Fekir, we need to do everything we can to get that over the line. But, like, you know, if there's a backup, I don't know who that would be, especially in that number 10 role. I really like him. Lanzini could play it again. I don't know. There's probably a gazillion amount of players out there that I can't think of right now. But I've got my mind and heart still on Fekir, and hopefully we can do that. And not even for me as a Coutinho replacement, just as another player that can help us. I think really good from set pieces. Really confident player. Yeah, he had a pretty decent season, but again, it's under Klopp. I think you've seen this. You know, Mane was amazing at Southampton. He really was, but he was never this good. You know what I mean? Firmino was probably pretty good at Offenheim, but not this good. Salah, pretty good at Roma, not this good. Pretty good at Fiorentina as well, but not this good. And so, as far as attacking players, forward players, I think Klopp is clearly shown that he, you know, whatever he touches, it turns gold, basically. You know what I mean? So whether people really rate Lanzini or not, you got to believe under Klopp's stewardship, coaching and guidance, that he'll even rise much. And he's a good player as it is, but he'll be that much better under Klopp. Yeah, if we got him for squad done. Yeah, me too. Me too. Again, look, we definitely need some cover from our injury issues, and so, you know, and you got to also remember, obviously, Fekir. I mean, yeah, you got to remember too. We don't know how Ox is going to be now. It says November, but he might struggle post that. You know, I mean, knock on wood, he doesn't. But so you got to be ready. We can't have another season where we picking and trying to scrape and find who can come in and all that. We can't have that. So again, I think Klopp, every season he improves on one thing, and I think this season it was managing the team. Unfortunately, he got a little bit unlucky with these injuries, but did really good all season with rotating and keeping guys fresh. And I think that's probably why some guys are still able to run now, because they've been involved in a rotation. Think about Genie, Hendo, Milner. Of course, these guys are playing a lot of games now, but throughout the season, all those midfield guys were heavily rotated. So and we had the depth and the strength to do that then. So desperately needed center back. Yeah, I'll be so happy if we go after one. Yeah, no, center back is definitely important. It's definitely important. There's been some news about Lovren speaking to the Sun, which is not true. It didn't happen. This is the Sun doing the weird, strange tactics of, you know, bringing up a story that Lovren had, or a conversation that Lovren had with someone else, and trying to make it seem like it was he had it with the Sun. I mean, just disgusting paper that. But you know, the Lovren is just not the answer. You know, I love the guy, and I think he's. Yeah, I'm not. A lot of people like that guy from was it Lazio, De Vrij? He's alright for me. Or is that Napoli? That was one of those blue teams in Serie A. I can't remember if it's Napoli or Lazio. But yeah, I'm not really sure. I saw some players yesterday in the Europa League final that I'd love to get, and I wish we were in for. Obviously, you think about Oblak, Lazio. Okay, think about Oblak. But they got Saul. They've got Koke. That's Atletico Madrid, of course. They got a guy coming off the bench who looks pretty good. I forget his name right now. Marseille has Jordan Amavi, who's a fullback. They got Sarr, who's a really good fullback. Dalvin has been really good for them. Didn't really do much for Newcastle when he came to the Premier League, though. I like Skriniar, man. I like Skriniar. Yeah. I like him. He's really... Not many people are talking about him. But yeah, I love him. Oh, did he join Inter? Oh, there you go. Yeah, I like Skriniar a lot. The other guy I like in the midfield is a guy from AC Milan, Frank Kessie. But it looks like he recently. But yeah, man, it's gonna be a lot of names going around for the next, you know, whatever how many days. And you know, again, it gives you that extra bit of confidence knowing that Klopp has pretty much done well with every player we brought in, you know, more or less, with the exception of maybe a few. But most of the guys he's brought in, they've done pretty well. Alderweireld would be a great, but I don't think Klopp would do it as he's doing. Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing with Klopp. You see, in certain positions, he might bring in a guy that might be older that could do a job. Maybe not every single, week in, week out. Meanwhile, Klavan, I think Klavan is a pretty decent backup. He's got the age on him. He's got the experience. He captains his team, his country club. So, yeah, I agree with the Alderweireld comment there about the age and maybe Klopp not going for him because of that. So yeah, but we'll see. I really like the Skriniar shout though. He's really got good, man. That would be a good addition. So we'll see. Hopefully, they're addressing some of the key, I guess, places that we think that they should go for early. Yeah, I read that too. Alderweireld going to Man United. Yeah. Man United is gonna making some moves really quick. Today they're getting Fred, the Brazilian player Fred from Shakhtar Donetsk, I think. So that's the other thing. We got to keep up with those guys. Man United, City, Chelsea, Arsenal. These guys are gonna be moving really fast and getting players. So we have to be doing the same thing. And again, you got to believe Liverpool, Klopp, and the staff there are recruitment. Guys are looking for people or already had guys in their mind and just about signing them now. So yeah, exciting times. We look forward to seeing it, and I'll definitely, like I said, be back when there's something more to talk about. Have a good one, guys.